Suppose after that gospel today I better give a short homily because although it's not a synagogue, it's a church, and I guess I have a seat of honor there. I'm the one with the longest robe going in the building at the moment, so I won't go on too long. So the last prescription of lengthy prayers, can't be levied against me, too. Simple story. Probably a silly story to tell in church, and perhaps I maybe shared it with you in the past, I don't recall. A number of years ago, at my honor fraternity from Canisius, Di Gamma, we have an annual banquet. And several years ago at that banquet, I was there during the cocktail hour, the hors d'oeuvres, and one of my classmates came up to me. At the time, he was an assistant district attorney down in Monroe County. And he came up to me and he said, I need you to do me a favor. I asked him what it was. He said, well, I really haven't done anything for anybody all week, so maybe if I buy a priest a drink, God will give me, a little gold star for the week. And being, a man dedicated solely to the service of others, I had to allow him to do that. And we went up to the bar, we ordered our drinks, and, he's pulling out his wallet amidst the moths flying around. And the bartender said, oh, it's an open bar, you don't have to pay. To which Chris said, well, there goes my one opportunity to do something good this week. And I looked at him right away and I said, well, no. I said, we can discuss why you haven't done anything else good this week, but you intended to do something good, and more important than the physical outcome, the action, is your intention. What is more important than any actual outcome? Our intention. That is the higher good. What is it that you intend to do? And we need to think for a moment, where exactly are our intentions ordered? In what direction do our intentions go? I suppose there's many different options in contemporary society. We can be ordered in the direction of power. We want to have power and authority, perhaps in the community as a whole or in a certain subset therein. And for some, the intention may be ordered towards financial gain and personal wealth, might be the ordering for some. And the list can go on, but certainly for all of us, people who are of faith, what is the ordering of our life? The ordering of our life is towards God. That is the ultimate order of our life. So the basic intentions of our life must be consistent with that of God, and we order our actions, we order our words, all in that direction of God. However, I won't ask for a show of hands. I'm going to guess most of you are ordered in that direction. You're here at a Mass on a Sunday night. You're ordered towards God. But my guess is that at times all of us are disordered. I'm going to guess if I asked for a show of hands, and if we were all honest, all of our hands would go up. If there was ever an action, a word that we spoke, that we performed with intention that we knew was not towards God. Certainly we call that sin. Disordered. We don't like that word, disordered. Sometimes we use it too clinically. We think of psychological or emotional disorders or other types of disorders, but if you really think about it for a moment, if we say that our intentions must be ordered towards God, anything that is in our life that is not ordered towards God therefore becomes disordered. We know that the truth is ordered towards God, but many of us from time to time will lie. It's a disorder, really. We know that honesty is of God, but from time to time many of us may cheat. It's a disorder. It's a disorder, not leading to God. And so the real basic thought today is, what is the basic ordering of your life? It's the basic order of your life towards God. And What disorders do you deal with? What disorder do you have in your life that maybe prohibits you from always being in that direction towards the Lord? If you take that to the gospel today, that's what we really see going on. What do we see in the very beginning? We hear Jesus giving the instruction to the crowds. The scribes like places of honor at banquets. They like titles of honor. They like wealth. In and of themselves, those things are not necessarily bad things. But if you're ordered that becomes the goal, the focus, that's the problem. And that's what Jesus is really saying. Their intention is wrong. Their intention is for that personal gain. Their intention is for that personal praise. And the intention is not using their lives to point directly to the Lord as they purport to do. So the disorder is not so much that having wealth or power or position is a problem. That's not the disorder. The disorder becomes when that becomes the focus of life. It's the first part of the gospel teaching us that today. And then we go on into the second half of the gospel, and we hear that Jesus is sitting opposite the treasury, and people are putting in their donations, and the wealthy are donating out of their surplus wealth. But we hear that very famous widow, the widow's mite. We hear that poor widow who gave all that she had to live on. And Jesus said, she's the one who gave the most. Well, what's the disorder with the wealthy giving from their surplus wealth? I suppose there's no direct, clear disorder. They did not intend to do anything harmful. But what the Lord is calling us to, even if we're ordered towards God, there are also calls to higher order to God. And that higher order came really in that widow who gave completely all of what she had to the service of the temple. She is the one who is honored. A story that I know I told you, and I think I did tell you at this very Mass, but I saw in my own life the widow's mite. I saw, while I was vocation director for the diocese a number of years ago, received a phone call at my office. It was a senior citizen. She lived in the building across from Mount St. Mary's High School on Delaware Avenue. And she called and she said, would you mind coming to see me at my apartment? I would like to make a donation to help a man study to become a priest. And so I went to visit her. And when I got there, I saw that she was advanced in years and in health. She walked with a walker. And as we sat at her kitchen table visiting for some time, eventually she excused herself, got up, and she went to her bedroom, and she came back to the kitchen table. It was like a scene from, a movie. She plopped down this stack of cash on the table, thousands of dollars, somewhere $6,000 or $8,000 if I remember correctly, small unmarked bills. And, it was something to see. And that was her donation she wanted to make. I certainly thanked her, visited for a while. And it was within a year I received a phone call from her children. The woman had died. And the children found the letter of thanks that I sent to the mother. And they said, we're calling to see if you'd be willing to have a funeral service for our mother. And of course, I'd be honored to do that. And they said, you need to know a few things about our mother. First of all, she gave you every penny she had. Said there's no money, there's no bank account, there's no checking account. She gave all of the money she had. She said, secondly, she's not even Catholic. And found it very interesting that she wanted to assist men studying to become priests. And I filled them in on the gaps on that because she grew up out Riverside near All Saints Parish on Esser Avenue. and had been helped by the priests over the years and wanted to give back. True story. The widow's mite exists to this very day. What is the ultimate intention of your life? Are you ordered towards God? And do you see a higher order, a higher call that the Lord may be calling you to? And perhaps what disorders prohibit you from giving yourself completely in trust to the Lord?